Hi everybody, welcome back to Nature Kids, and today we'll be doing History Grade 6 English Medium Lesson 5, and the topic is Our Brave Kings. So now let's get started with the lesson. A ruler should be virtuous, wise and intelligent to develop a country. For about 2000 years, Sri Lanka had an important place among the countries of the world. Sailors who traveled across the Indian Ocean knew our small island by different names, such as Singaladipa, Silediba, Ceylon, Serendib, and Taprobane. Sri Lanka became famous for its beautiful natural environment and the valuable resources that were exported to other countries through trade. People around the world knew Sri Lanka as an independent country ruled by brave and intelligent kings. These kings worked hard for the well-being and happiness of their people. In this lesson, we will learn about some of these great kings and their contribution to our country. King Pandukabhe. Prince Pandukabhe was the son of Prince Digagamini and Princess Chitra. A Brahmin named Pandula educated and guided Prince Pandukabhe. According to historical books, Prince Pandukabhe faced many difficulties during his childhood. Some people did not want him to become king and tried to stop him. However, he overcame all these challenges through his intelligence and courage. When he was young, he married a princess named Swarnapali and later became the king of Sri Lanka. Development of Anuradhapura. King Pandukabhe ruled the country from Anuradhapura. At the time, it was called Anuradhagama because it was not a well-developed area. The king wanted to develop the area and change its name to Anuradhapura. First, he selected the area for the city and marked its boundaries. For protection, he built a moat around the city. He also built four gates in the four main directions and constructed roads connecting these gates. Public services. King Pandukabhe understood that cleanliness was very important when many people lived in a city. Therefore, he appointed workers to keep the city clean. 500 servants were appointed to remove garbage, 22 servants were appointed to clean toilets, 150 servants were appointed to carry dead bodies, another 150 servants were appointed to clean and protect cemeteries. Health and religious harmony. The king also built a hospital to provide medical care for the people. He built temples and religious places for the people who followed different religions. His aim was to promote religious harmony among the people. At that time, blacksmiths worshipped a god called Kammaradeva. King Pandukabhe built devalas near the western gate of the city for the blacksmiths and the weather community to worship their god. He also built religious places for other religious leaders to conduct their religious activities. And here's a picture of the Anuradhapura city drawn according to descriptions given in the Mahavansa. So as you can see, this is a pretty big city, even though there's only like some, I don't know, bricks left of this whole thing. Okay, not some, there's a lot left, but we don't see like this moat. It's not really intact now. We don't see the moat that much now, and we do see some of the fence line, like one or two bricks somewhere like that, or maybe just half of the walls, something like that. But we do see some of the buildings in the city that weren't like destroyed. Well, they weren't destroyed like natural causes and stuff like that. We sometimes do see those like tiny half of a house, I guess. And here we have the cemetery. This I have not seen. I'm okay. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Okay, cemetery of the low caste. Okay, this is where the like low caste people were buried, and this is the cemetery, even though it doesn't look like a cemetery. And this is where the Malvatoya was. It's still there, but I think it's gotten bigger or something. And Yakshani Devala is here, and And that's how it just goes, keeps on going. It just keeps on going like this. We have a lot of more stuff like the Vesamuni Devale, and yeah, stuff like that. So mostly I don't think this will come to your term test because there's too much in this and there's so much a person can remember, and why do I sound like a librarian? Anyway, let's just go to the next slide. This is making my brain hurt. Important points. Prince Pandukabe faced many hardships and obstacles during his childhood. He overcame his difficulties and became the king of Sri Lanka. Prince Varnapali was his queen. He developed Anuradhagama into a well-planned city, which later became known as Anuradhapura. He made Anuradhapura an attractive and well-organized city. He was the first king to build a tank near a city. The tank was called Abbeyawewa and is known today as Basawakuluma Tank. King Devanampiya Tissa. King Devanampiya Tissa was the son of King Muttasiva. King Muttasiva, and his original name was Tissa. He became king after his father. During his reign, Emperor Ashoka ruled India. King Devanampiya Tissa established a close relationship with Emperor Ashoka. He became the first king of Sri Lanka to embrace Buddhism. During his reign, Buddhism was introduced to Sri Lanka by Arahat Mahinda Thero, and many important Buddhist activities took place. King Devanampiya Tissa important facts. So practically that just means important facts about this guy. King Muttasaviya. Okay, why do I keep messing up the name? King Muttasiva. Okay, King Muttasiva was the father of King Devanampiya Tissa. Devanampiya Tissa original name was Tissa. He became king after King Muttasiva. During his reign, Emperor Ashoka ruled India. Prince Arita led the group of emissaries sent to Emperor Ashoka. Emperor Ashoka supported the second coronation of King Tissa. The title Devanampiya Tissa, okay, not Devanampiya Tissa, it's actually Devanampiya, means adorable to the gods. What? Anyway, that was disturbing. Anyway, King Devanampiya Tissa was the first Sri Lankan king to embrace Buddhism. Arahat Mahinda Thero introduced Buddhism to Sri Lanka. King Devanampiya Tissa met Arahat Mahinda at Mihintale. The king answered Mahinda Thero's questions intelligently about the mango tree. Mahinda Thero realized that King Devanampiya Tissa was an intelligent person. Sri Mahabodhi was brought to Sri Lanka by Sanghamitta Therini. Okay, this is Therini. Anyway, Sri Mahabodhi arrived at Dambakola Patuna. King Devanampiya Tissa planted Sri Mahabodhiya in the Mahamevna Uyana in Anuradhapura. Sanghamitta Theri came to Sri Lanka with people representing 18 crafts. The king built Mahabodhiya and offered it to the Mahasangha. He cleaned the caves at Mihintale and offered them to Arahat Mahinda and other monks. These caves became known as the Attasetalena, meaning 6-8 caves. King Devanampiya Tissa helped to establish the Bhikkhu Sasana in Sri Lanka. The ordination of Prince Arita marked the beginning of Bhikkhu Sasana. The Bhikkhu Sasana became the ordination of Queen Anula. King Devanampiya Tissa arranged the demarcation of Anuradhapura city. The city was demarcated with a plow drawn by two tuskers, Mahapaduma, hopefully that's right, and Kunja. Okay. Tuparama Dagaba was built by King Devanampiya Tissa. Okay, that's obvious. We knew this from grade, I don't know, 3. I have no clue. I can't remember. Don't ask me in the comments. Now we have 3 important events. Yay! First, we have arrival of Arahat Mahinda Thero. Arahat Mahinda Thero came to Sri Lanka during the reign of King Devanampiya Tissa. He met the king at Mihintale and he introduced Buddhism to Sri Lanka. Next, we have bringing Sri Mahabodhi. Sanghamitta Theri brought a sapling of Sri Mahabodhi from India. It arrived at Nambakolapattuna. King Devanampiya Tissa planted it ceremoniously in Mahameuna Uyana. Thuparama Dagaba. Thuparama Dagaba was built by King Devanampiya Tissa. It was built in Anuradhapura. It became an important Buddhist religious site. Thuparama. Thuparama Dagaba was built by King Devanampiya Tissa in Anuradhapura. When the king wanted to build a Dagaba, he did not know its correct shape, so he asked Arhat Mahinda Thera for advice. Mahinda Thera told him that it should have the shape of a heap of paddy. Therefore, Thuparama was built in Dhanyakara paddy heap shape. Later it was reconstructed several times and took the shape of a bell, Gatakara. 3 rows of stone pillars can be seen around the Dagaba. These were part of an old protective building called a Vatadagaya. King Vasabha built a Vatadagaya around the Thuparame. The right collarbone of Lord Buddha is believed to be enshrined in the Thuparama. No, don't get any ideas and start digging into the Thuparame because that'll get you sent to the police. Anyway, King Devanampiya Tissa also built Laha, Lahabadge, okay, a place where meals were prepared and offered to bhikkhus. He built several pirivenas for the education of bhikkhus and established Mahavihara, which he offered to the Mahasangha. Now we have King Dutugamunu. King Dutugamunu was an intelligent, brave, and effective ruler of Sri Lanka. His father was King Kavantissa, and his mother was Queen Vihara Mahadevi. He had a brother named Prince Tissa. Their loyal family lived in the Mahagama kingdom in Ruhunurata. Prince Dutugamunu wanted to develop Anuradhapura and unite the country. With the support of his family and his 10 great giants, Dasa Mahayodhya, he fought against King Elara and united the country. King Dutugamunu was also a great supporter of Buddhism and made a valuable contribution to the development of Anuradhapura. Important services of King Dutugamunu united the country under one rule, defeated King Elara at Vijitapura, received the support of the 10 great giants in his battles, received great support from his famous Tusker Kandula, built Ruanalisaya, also known as Mahathupa, built Medisavatiya Dagaba, built Loa Mahapaya, built many Dagabas and religious places in Anuradhapura. Historical records say that he constructed 99 Dagabas and religious places. He worked for the welfare of his people, ordered his people to respect King Alara's grave when passing it, made a great contribution to the development of Buddhism, showed love and loyalty towards his country, showed courage, intelligence, and good leadership. Prince Adda Tisak showed the half-constructed Ruanali Stupa after covering the 43 unfinished part with a piece of white cloth. Wait, what? How big was this cloth? Anyway, to King Dutugamunu, who was at his deathbed. Okay, no offense to the person who drew this picture, but that does not look like a bed. It looks like a chair. Anyway, let's skip to the bed chair and what do we have next? And this is what we have next. King Elara. King Elara was the king who ruled Anuradhapura before King Dutugamunu. He came from the Kola country and ruled Anuradhapura for 44 years. He collected income from agriculture and trade at the Mahatota harbour. King Elara was known as a righteous and fair ruler. According to the Mahavansa, one day his chariot accidentally hit a Dagaba and damaged part of it. When he learned about the damage, he took immediate steps to repair the Dagaba. This shows that King Elara respected the religious places and followed justice when he was responsible for the damage. Ruwanalisaya. Ruwanalisaya was started by King Dutugamunu in Anuradhapura. It also is known as Mahat Stupa. And in Pali books, it is called Ratnamali. It is said that Buddha's sacred bodily relics were enshrined in the Ruwanalisaya. Don't go digging. I'm quite sure they're still there, but don't try to dig a stupa. I know. Okay. I don't know the price of one of Buddha's sacred, body parts, but don't go digging. It's useless. It's there, but you'll get a straightaway ticket to the police, so do not. Anyway, King Dutugamnu passed away after completing its construction, so his brother, King Saddhatissa, completed it. Later, King Lajjatissa carried out some renovation work. Ruwanalisaya is one of the most important Buddhist monuments in Sri Lanka. King Valagamba. King Valagamba was an intelligent and far-sighted king who faced many difficulties during his reign. During this time, a terrible famine called Bemini Tiasaya occurred because there was no rain for several years. Many people and Buddhist monks suffered and died during this famine. The king understood that Buddhism could not be preserved safely only through oral tradition. Therefore, he made arrangements to write the Tripitaka down at Aluvihare in Matale. This was a great service to Buddhism and helped to preserve the valuable teaching of the Buddha for future generations. Services of King Valagamba arranged for the Tripitaka to be written down at Aluvihare, helped to preserve the teachings of the Buddha, gave caves to the Buddhist monks, supported the development of Pirivenas for the education of monks, built Somarame Stupa in memory of Queen Soma Devi, worked for the welfare of his people, overcame many difficulties with intelligence and determination. King Vasabha. King Vasabha was the first king of Lambakarna dynasty. His parents are not known. Wow. Okay. So much for a birth certificate. Anyway, he spent his childhood at his uncle's home. He became a great ruler and served the country for 44 years. King Vasabha made a great contribution to irrigation, Buddhism, and the development of Anuradhapura. He was a courageous, intelligent, and careful ruler who worked for the welfare of his people. Important services of King Vasabha. Became the first king of Lambakarna dynasty, constructed 11 large tanks, built 12 canals to carry water to paddy fields, constructed the Elahira Canal, which carried water over a long distance, improved the irrigation system of the country, built a wall around Anuradhapura to improve its security. Wait a minute. Whoa. I thought it already had a wall. What was that in the picture in Devanapiyadisa? Okay, scroll back to the video and check if there was a wall. Because I'm confused. I thought I saw a wall. Wait, what? Okay. Who cares about the wall? It's gone now. Anyway, developed a system to supply water to ponds in Anuradhapura. Introduced underground water pipes to carry water to bathing ponds. Built a Vatadagaya around the Tuparama Dagaba. Built a Pohoyagaya at Isaramunia and offered it to the monks, built stupas at Situl Power in Tissamaharama, renovated several temples and the country, divided the country into administrative areas and appointed officers to manage them, and the Vallipuram golden plate dates from his reign. King Mahasen. King Mahasen was a great king who ruled Sri Lanka for 27 years. His father was King Gotabaya, and he had a brother named Jetatissa. King Mahasen made a great contribution for the development of irrigation and agriculture in Sri Lanka. He constructed many large tanks, canals, and religious buildings. He also worked for the welfare of his people and supported Buddhism. Because of his great service to the country and his people, he was highly respected and is still worshipped as Minner Devio, god of Mineria. Important services of King Masen constructed 16 tanks and a main canal, greatly developed the irrigation and agricultural system, built the famous Mineria tank which was known as Minihivara Weber in ancient times, constructed Hudu Weber and Kadadara Weber, built the famous Jetavanarama Stupa in Anuradhapura. It is believed that the party built relic of Buddha is enshrined in Jetavanarama. Built religious places such as Minner Viharaya, Gokana Viharaya, Ekapila Viharaya, and Dasengala Viharaya. Renovated several temples in different parts of Sri Lanka, offered robes to Buddhist monks, worked for the welfare of his people, made a great contribution for the development of agriculture. Because of his great service, he is still worshipped as Minner Devio, god of Mineria. Jetavanarama Stupa. Jetavanarama Stupa was built by King Masen in Anuradhapura according to the historical sources. It was about 400 feet high when it was completed, with a base diameter of about 370 feet, and it was considered the largest stupa in Sri Lanka and the largest brick-built stupa in the world at that time. It is believed that the party built relic of Lord Buddha was enshrined in this stupa. Many monastery buildings were also built around the Jetavana temple, making it an important Buddhist center. King Dhatusena. King Dhatusena was a great king of Mayura dynasty who ruled Sri Lanka for 18 years. Before he became king, Anuradhapura was ruled by several invaders from South India. King Dhatusena successfully liberated the country from the invaders and restored the kingdom, and he made a great contribution to the development of irrigation, agriculture, and Buddhism. He was especially famous for his irrigation works, which benefited farmers and the people of the country. Important services of King Dhatusena belonged to the Mayura dynasty, liberated Sri Lanka from South India invaders, constructed 18 large tanks and 18 small tanks, built the famous Kala constructed Yoda Ala, which is connected to Kala with Tissa Yoda Ala is also known as Jayaganga, developed with the irrigation and agricultural system of the country, built 18 temples, viharas according to the historical records, renovated old damaged temples, took care of the needs of Buddhist monks, reconstructed the Mahapali Dhanasala, where monks were provided with meals, made a great contribution to the development of Buddhism, and worked for the welfare of the people and the country. So that's all for today, guys. Make sure you put a like and you subscribe. Like I always say, it makes me happy. And until then, it's me signing off. Bye.